we could probably get more in depth with it about that PDF that you sent me.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Yo, and what we about to talk about, I feel like that's why I was like, I really can't give this stuff like my time and my energy. Um, I'll let you explain what the PDF was about.
No. Go into. I'm actually gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up some audio from it
Okay.
right now. While you go ahead and do your and lead into it.
Yeah, but pretty much what it was like a drill that they had written like what if scenarios
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, no, this is not even a what if scenarios. This is actually came out in uh I forgot it's put out by the Rockefeller Association, and this was in 2014, and it was how to handle a pandemic or a crisis or something like that. So I'll pull that audio up or something, but it was
okay.
something along those lines.
Okay. Remember when you showed me the thing for the Discovery Channel?
Yeah, with the bugs, with the insects,
Yeah.
that shit was crazy.
When you showed me that, I was like, yo, where is he going with this?
Yeah,
And you really think they be in the
you
jungle?
really
But
think
it's a
they in the
whole
jungle
set.
and they on the television set? That blew my mind.
They over there
I
making
wasn't
the
ex-
bugs do certain
I
things. I
wasn't
was
ex-
just like,
I wasn't expecting that, but then I also after I seen it, I was like, of course, like because everything isn't what we thought it was. There's nothing that was what we thought it was.
right.
Nothing in this reality is what you ever thought it was. You know what I mean? You're taught from an early age. That's why I don't get into the whole Santa Claus thing and all that childish BS because it's a culture of deception. You know what I mean? And we try to cover it up as like, oh, it's fun and it's family, but nah, what are you really doing? You really lying to these kids. You lying to these kids. You getting in their
Yep.
fucking emotions and in their mind for them to get to a certain age, and you was like, nah, we were just playing. We were just joking. Don't tell your little sisters or don't tell your little brother because we want to keep it going. And then you get mad when they lie to you and shit when they get older and shit. It's a learned behavior. You taught them. You running around, you sneaking and hiding shit and you know what I'm saying? And whispering and doing all types of creepy shit.
Yeah. I was like that when I was big growing up. Me and my older brother TJ like watching wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So like he always like, yo, I'm the Ultimate Warrior, and I was like, yo, I'm Hulk Hogan. So we used to like really wrestle and mimic
Yeah.
and shit, like like throwing each other off the bunk beds, like getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when I found out like it was fake, I was like, yo, like really, like I never watched that shit again when I found out
Really?
it was fake.
Really?
Yeah. And then like my boy Craig, he loves it. He's like, yo, it's just entertainment. And I was like, yeah, but like, yo, growing up as a kid,
So
yo,
they
like that,
deceived you.
yeah,
So you
like
felt like they wronged you. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I can see that. I can see
yeah,
that.
I'm still upset about that.
For some reason, I feel like I always just kind of knew. Like when I found out it was fake, I still enjoyed it because it was an art to it. It was like, I knew I couldn't do it because I was getting hurt when I was doing this shit. So I was like, it was still an art to it. It was like, wow, these dudes is like really.
I remember my brother did the perfect plex on me, yo, that shit hurt.
Hell yeah, that's a dope ass move
Man,
too.
he's like-
If you lock that leg right and shit, you be sitting there like, how
I
you?
was like, yo, that shit hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I see what you're saying. Like I could definitely see that. Like, oh damn, they lying, but I don't. I never really believed anything that was on that television. Like, you know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
like, I mean, I guess I did to a degree, but in regards to like shows like that, nah. I would always ask like the question of like, well, why is the cameraman there? Or why is the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
My daughter's gonna be like that.
yeah, it's like that's why like some of these protests and shit like that, you see them moving everybody back, but you see the cameraman has like free range, like the cops be walking right past the dude with the camera, and you be sitting there like, well,
And it's not safe for nobody. Like, what is he?
yeah,
doing?
like, but you just sitting there like, well, if everybody got to move back, does that mean cameramen are exempt from everybody? Like, why aren't you pushing them back too? Why do they get to just kind of be so? I'm a little
it's the
skeptical.
whole world the stage.
I'm a little skeptical about some of this shit that I see, man. And this don't happen all the time. There are circumstances where I have seen cameramen get pushed back, but there's circumstances where I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say all the time, but there's circumstances that I've seen where cameramen are just like, I've seen a CNN dude get this was with the Mike Brown situation, and I swear the shit looked like a movie. It looked like they were even the people that was there protesting looked like extras in a movie. I was like, you would never see this group of people together, like this bunch of people that just don't roll together like this.
Right.
The mixture that was there, but I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you offset,
Okay.
but yeah, man. So you gotta wonder, like this. I don't know, man. That's another topic for another show.
All right. You want to play that audio now? Off the clip.
Oh yeah. I got it. I got it up.
Which part you gonna play?
All right, so let's take a
They will
look.
stop at nothing to complete their toolkit of control. Right? So one of the things that has been missing from the toolkit of total control has been quarantines and curfews, right?
So this is from 2014. All right.
Where to get on a bus, to go through a subway station, if you think that the procedures at the TSA are onerous, right? Guess this is coming to a bus depot near you. It's a more invasive way, and the ruling class needs this because, let me say, if the ruling class ever saw wide-scale civil unrest, you'd see an Ebola outbreak in America right away.
Okay, so this is what you see is that Ebola is
Another tool in the toolbox of the ruling
of
class
repression
control. Yeah,
to
definitely.
keep down
Absolutely,
repression.
positively, 100%. This is a tool.
Right.
Ebola doesn't just magically start spreading. And then we have this doctors that come back here. The white people, of course, live. The two whites who got it survive. All the black people that get it die. It's very possible that these one of these NGOs over there is going around with a veil of Ebola or spreading it from a small plane onto villages. The point is to get hundreds of thousands of people infected with it and create the next phase
We
of
see.
control.
Hold on, let me just stop this real
I'd like
quick.
to show
That's one thing. We see these people spraying the air every single day.
Nobody questions it.
Every single day, you can look in the sky and see these large trails of clouds behind these planes, and we never stop to say, what the fuck are they spraying in the air? But now we have, viruses that affect and attack people's breathing in their lungs and stuff like that. Like, what are they spraying in the air?
Chemtrails.
You know what I'm saying? What is that?
Nobody
Why
ever
are they doing it? Why do we need it to be done?
Because it's not the airplanes. The airplanes, all airplanes and aircrafts, they burn clean. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you never seen you be on an airplane and there's just bad smoke behind it. Like, they're spraying stuff in the air.
Yeah, it's just a fact.
You know what I mean? So, like,
it's a fact.
Oh, it's just the airplane. Like, no, nigga, that's a chemtrail, nigga.
Yeah, there's a trail behind it, but we so distracted down here that we don't have time to actually just stop and ask about we so busy wanting the party to go back to open back up. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go back to the party. A lot of people, I just want to go back to before this. We're never going back to before this because we never go back. It's never happened.
I've just seen somebody posted a picture like they having a party, like,
and that's cool.
Like, still, like, yo, like,
some people gonna party, some people gonna prepare. You know what I mean? Like,
which part you gonna play?
Which part you gonna play?
We gotta add that in there because that's dope. Like, from the actual record.
Yeah. No, I got you. Like, but that's what people want to get back to their regular lives. I just want to go do this. I want to go do that. And I think the energy I'm getting is you got to be able to take care of yourself. You got to be self-sufficient. It's time to spread out. Yeah. These cities, large cities and shit like that, that's the old world. The new world is telling us it's time to spread out. The new world is telling us it's time to click up. Have small little villages, little tribes, little groups of people, and barter and work and build with each other because that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna have to be self-sufficient because you see what happens when you're dependent on your government and when you're waiting for your government, you be singing the stimulus song. I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to play that game. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you stupid, son.
The rules are
suckers. You know what I'm saying? But it's a fact, bro.
Yo, that's one of the things that upsetted me about myself when it came to when the pandemic first hit, and knowing this information, like, I know I wasn't prepared because, like, I gotta go wait online at the grocery store and depend on somebody for money to feed my family. And that sticks with me. So
those are old habits, bro. That's how we were conditioned and programmed to live our lives.
Yep.
Like, somebody right now came up to you and was like, "I'm gonna give you this farm." 16 acres. You wouldn't know what the fuck to do with that shit. You be sitting here like, yo, I wouldn't know the first thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd try to figure it out. I'll be a YouTube University motherfucker, but say we get a power outage, we ain't got no Wi-Fi. You understand what I'm saying? We don't really know how to do anything. We don't know how to do anything for ourselves.
That kind of yo. My father grew up on a farm, so he knows.
Mm-hmm. But even he probably there's a lot that he's forgotten because a lot of things is muscle memory. He's conditioned to live in this type of world now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
traveling down the road playing Teddy Bear because he
think about the farm. Nigga, think about that farm, boy. He didn't think about that farm, nigga. He ain't had that was the last thing on his mind.
That's the reason he left from North Carolina to get away from that.
Yeah, so
it's crazy, like the life that who else? My grandmother too. Everybody moved north. That was the plan. Like when you got older, everybody moved north.
Yeah, because that I mean,
I'm trying to move south and get some of that land
because you know what it was that life wasn't glorified. They fantasized about going to the big city, all the opportunity that was going to be there, but that opportunity came with a price. You know what I'm saying? We didn't seek ownership. It was hard ownership, and they didn't make it easy for us to have ownership. So let's not even make it seem like, people that we come from just blew it and with suckers and shit because it wasn't easy for them. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I think that we weren't encouraged to be. We weren't encouraged to be proud of ourselves. We weren't encouraged to have our own. You know what I'm saying?
Skin color, yeah.
We was encouraged to go try to integrate, and integration is cool, but it's not the end all be all. You can't integrate people who are trying to learn self-respect, because if they're insecure about their self-respect, and you have people who have a superiority complex and are in a position of power, they're going to harp on those insecurities, and they're going to really fucking make you. Excuse me. They're gonna work on them.
Right.
That's a lot of psychological abuse that we went through. A lot of shit that we've gone through and that we continue to go through. Generational scars that came from that. So, you know what I'm saying? We weren't conditioned and taught to value those things. We were always taught to try to attain what, the European had. The glamour and glitz, the Hollywoods, the bright lights, big city. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we owned none of that. We had no stake in any of that. That was all us trying to be accepted into their world. The first black, anytime you hear some shit where it's like, oh, it's the first black person did this and the first black person sang here and, oh, you gotta like him. That means that they didn't fucking want you there. And you kept saying, please let me play here. Please let me play here, instead of saying, you know what, man, let me go get my boys together. We're gonna go make our own fucking place and go there. So I get mixed feelings about that shit because it's like, damn, man, we weren't encouraged or taught to really have a lot of self-respect or try to have our own. It was always trying to be accepted. Like, we got to be accepted. Like,
you feel like it's like that now still, or you?
Well, now I feel like the world is like an upside down cake. Like right now, the rose is out the fucking door. Okay. But the writing was on the wall. Like if you remember the last Grammys or Oscars or whatever, where the dude did a monologue and he was just shitting on everybody. He was like, none of this shit matters or whatever the case is, and he was totally off the, you know what I'm saying? He brought up Tom Hanks' pedophile shit. Tom Hanks was right there in the fucking audience and stuff like that. So it was really off the handle. It kind of was a sense of this was the end. Like, yo, this shit is over. And I feel like that. I feel strongly about that. I feel like, for years we would be like, oh, black people don't have no Grammys or they don't give rappers Oscars. So then, man, they don't want you to eat at their fucking table. Why you keep still looking at the window like, please let me eat at the table, and they sitting there eating, and you looking at the window? Go create your own fucking table. Like, later for their awards. Like, I don't understand why we always wanted approval. Yeah. I could never understand that shit. I could never understand it. Yeah. Oh, he's the first black person to get a Grammy. And it's just like, so now this niggas think he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what he think he is, now we supposed to look at him a certain way? Like, oh, because he fought with y'all till y'all accepted him. Because our whole life is to look for acceptance.
Right.
I think we more than that, man. But that's what's pushed towards us. That's what's pushed upon us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, try to seek acceptance from these people. You know what I mean? And we're in their world. They created this world that we're in. Now, when I say world, I'm not talking about the earth. I'm talking about the world, the society that we live in.
That we integrate.
You know what I'm saying? And this is it's theirs. It's like it's their world, it's their laws, and we've never been encouraged, and we've never had the support to go and just create our own. We don't have our own community. Every other nationality has their own community. We got the projects, the ghettos, but what are those? Those are concentration camps. Those are Indian reservations. That's what the projects are. That's what a neighborhood, a ghetto is. It's an Indian reservation.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Project.
So, and we don't own it.
Nope.
But they give us a little bit, they give us a little shit here. You can go get your little check, and you can go take your little check, which is like a ticket, and bring it to the store, and they'll give you something in exchange for it. They teach monkeys how to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Here we give you a ticket, you bring it here, and we'll give you a reward if you bring the ticket there. You know what I'm saying? We're not really taught to go out and go get our own. We're not encouraged to. You know what I'm saying? And then in this little area, this radius that you call, projects, which I call concentration camp, which can also be called the reservation, then you put little vices there. You put a liquor store here. You put another liquor store there.
There's always one
Then you put a Chinese place here that cooks their food in grease, deep grease. And all these other little restaurants that cook with so much grease and all of this, food. And then what happens is then you put a clinic here at this corner, because then now you're going to have people with diabetes that's going to live in this area because they eat all this fucked up food. You know what I'm saying? And they drink this alcohol with this fucked up food. And then they live in this fucked up environment that's causing psychological stress to them. You know what I'm saying? And where they're living in fear, maybe fear of the people that they're surrounded by.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the conditions that they live in. Like, think about the people that you're producing in these communities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so yeah, it is called a project. It is an experiment. Then we ain't even talk about the drugs that they put into these communities. Why are the drugs only in these communities? How do they get these drugs into these communities? Who's bringing these drugs into these communities? You could talk about all day about the people who's selling the drugs. But who's manufacturing these drugs? You know what I'm saying? Who's getting it? Who's bringing it there? So we could see that this is a social engineering experiment that they put in these areas. You know what I'm saying? Based off of all the devices and the conditions that they put us through. You know what I'm saying? The people that look like us through. And then they have to they put labels and stigmas on us through movies and films. And we could never perceive ourselves how another nationality perceives us.
What do you mean by that?
What I'm trying to say is that, like, if you see, like, we seen the stimulus check dude, right?
Right.
We came across somebody like that in our family, at our friend's house. We know somebody like that dude. We joking and shit, but it's all love. We know somebody like that.
Right.
So it's familiar to us. It's almost like when you see something from somebody in another country and they may be showing you a video of a family member having a good time, and we're like, what the fuck is going on in this video? It's not our culture. We don't understand it. So we can never see it through their eyes as them. Somebody can't see it through the eyes of us. We look like, who knows what we look like, how that's perceived to somebody. They may really look at like, damn, they're in bad shape down there. They don't see the fun and the joy that was kind of being had in that moment. Right. Or whatever the case is.
But ain't that's part of our culture though? Like we and when I say I mean like, black people, like the things that we go to, we write about it, we rap about it, and we make comedy about it.
Yeah.
Like, ain't that's our culture?
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. I see. All right, I'm listening.
You know what I mean? So like we see that, like we all, like you just said, we all know.
We have an understanding about it. We have understanding. Yeah.
So and like you said, you always told me there's a I like to say normal Facebook, and then there's a black Facebook.
Black Facebook, yeah. You can't don't say normal Facebook. It's two different. There's probably 3 different Facebooks. Since we was probably Hispanic, they probably got their own type of shit where they got their own little culture and jokes and shit and they memes.
That falls under the black culture.
You know what I'm saying? But so I'm not gonna say the normal. I'm just gonna say, there's different. It's different communities. It's just like neighborhoods on there. We replaced the blocks and hanging out in the streets with social media. So it's like, what block you on? I'm on Snapchat tonight. All right, nigga, I'll meet you on Snapchat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We on Snapchat. We hanging out on Snapchat. Where you at? I'm on the gram. All right, we on the gram tonight. That's like, I'm on the Ave, on the Boulevard.